Creator willing, one day we'll be able to get them back, but as of right now, it's very difficult. We don't know how to get them back. Actually, we for the most part don't even know that it's lost. We don't even understand that the family. A woman would get upset with her man and break up with him and separate from him. Don't even understand that that's all a part of the curse.
Right.
That that's all a part of that sickness that they uploaded into our brains. She don't understand that. She thinks that she's doing this because she feels a certain way. He feels like he's doing that because he feels a certain way. And most of the times when men are not men and they're just sitting in the seat of a man or a male and not doing a job of a male, then they're not men, they're males.
Right.
And that destroys the fabric of a home, of a family. Without that family structure in place, we can't rise as a nation. And that's why most of the time my posts be all about family.
Yeah, I know. I say I like the language.
Men and women working together, coming together, sacrificing, showing mercy toward each other, forgiving each other. I try to educate the men how to be men. Try to educate the women what their roles are and their responsibilities. Not how to be a woman, because I can't do that.
Right.
I can only just tell you from my mind frame what I would like to have in a woman. That's it. You know, and I can tell you, share with you some things in my own personal experiences that I've experienced that caused my household to go through the different ups and downs and situations that we have traveled through to arrive to the place where I am now. Okay. But back to the JC character, unless you got something you want to say.
No. I agree with what you're saying because that's true as far as family wise. Yeah, because if like you said, if a man is not there in a home like that, and that's how we can get infeminated like that, because you know a woman can try, she can do her best, but she's not a man. She can't tell him how to walk and act like one. She really can't. I mean, she can do her best. She can tell him right or wrong, and morally, you know, she can do her best with that. But just to show him, you know, this is how a man's supposed to act, she can't do that because she don't know. Like I can't tell my daughter. I can tell her morally how she should act, how the Creator says she should act, but I can't say this is what you do as a female because I don't know. You know what I mean?
I mean, we can always make suggestions, but we're not women. So
Right.
the best woman for a woman is a woman.
Right.
A woman who's a good woman. You know what I mean? A good mother, a good wife, a good servant of the Creator. Most importantly, a good servant of the Creator, because you have a lot of women who don't have the opportunity to be a wife at this present time.
Right.
Or they may never have that opportunity, but they're a good servant to the Creator.
That's what
So as long as they're good servants to the Creator, then we good. You know, we can grow with that type of behavior. And whatever man she has in her life, be it her spiritual leader, her father, in some type of connection, she has to have a man as the head of her in some type of way, so that she will be under that protection, that proper leadership. And that's the man that she has to talk to. That's the one she has to go to and communicate with, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's strange, but our people don't understand the ways of our ancient forefathers because of this virus that has been uploaded into our brains. For example, and I'm gonna give you something real simple but straight out the book. You sitting here with me, and we've been studying now for a good 5-6 months maybe, something like that. And you're confused in your mind and you really don't know. But as a man, you try to hold on to your dignity and you try to do what you understand to be right. Today's mind is teaching us that this is the proper thing to do. You read your book for yourself. You make your decisions for yourself, and you walk on in this life for yourself. Okay?
Mm.
This is what this culture has taught us to do because of this virus. But as I taught 2-3 weeks ago, what our forefathers did was they went to the men of the Most High.
Right.
And they asked those men who represent the Most High to produce the Most High for them, to ask the Most High of certain things, to speak or make intercession in the Most High on their behalf. Now this is causing a problem in the minds of a lot of people that's hearing this, They're saying, well, Prince, what you think? That's the sign of that virus, man. It is. Because everything that I'm saying to you is absolutely out of the scriptures.
Right.
Absolutely. If we don't believe that we have men who represent the Almighty in this earth today, then what are we doing? We're only fooling ourselves by calling ourselves by the ancient name of our forefathers, but yet not living in the customs and the laws and the traditions of our forefathers in this modern day and time. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
You don't, in the ancient days, they never prayed to those men. They honored those men, just like the sister in 2 Kings, the 4th chapter, and the 5th chapter. The one sister, her husband died. She sends people all the way over to the prophet, to let the prophet know that her household didn't have what they needed. You standing in a position in teaching and leading and instructing our people on whatever level you're doing it, you put yourself in that position. You have to feed the people of the Almighty. And if you're not going to feed them, close the book, sit down and shut up. Okay? That's your responsibility. She goes to the prophet and she says, well, listen, prophet, this is the situation here within my household. The prophet gave her the remedy. Now, you didn't even really see where the prophet went before the Almighty and said, Creator, cause this to be. But I guarantee you that's what the prophet did. Because any man of the Creator will always make intercession and prayer to the Almighty before he proceeds in handling someone else's business or even his own. Any righteous-minded man will do so. But that individual that went to the prophet or the man of the Creator had to be of a certain mind state. And what I'm trying to share with you now is that that mind state has been taken away from us. The first thing we think is, well, who Prince think he is? What is he trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that it's not just on me to feed the people. It's on the role and responsibility of everybody who stands up and say that they're a teacher or a leader or an instructor of the Most High's people or a servant of the Creator's people. It is your job to do so. It's easy to give somebody a book and say, here, you go home and read. That's real simple to do. It's a greater thing when you sit them down and teach them how to read. It's more of a greater thing. Because you give them that thing and say, go do it, they lost. In the ancient days, most of our people couldn't read. So they had to have others to read to them or for them when it came to things or matters pertaining to the law. But yet, the law was so entrenched in the blood of our people and in the customs of our people that we did it naturally. Now, when you didn't do it, you knew you wasn't doing it. So, you know, it's don't be afraid to go before those who you think. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. Those who you think are servants of the Almighty, and pray to the Creator that individual will pray to. You understand what I'm saying? I remember years ago, my wife told me, this was years and years ago, and it rocked me. It showed me my level of responsibility to my family, spiritually. She says when she makes prayer, she prays to the power that I pray to. I mean, she actually says those words. I come before you, the power of my husband. That's the kind of trust that a woman must have in her husband. If you're leading her, she has to be able to believe in every essence of her body, her basar, her flesh, that you are right with the Creator. And when you live that lifestyle and you got a woman accepting that within you, brother, you got something you got to own up to. You got a major responsibility. Major. Now, you're either going to do one or two things. You're either going to step into that plate and be that man that you're supposed to be, or you're going to break her heart, and y'all going to end up breaking up. One or the other. I would prefer you step in that plate and be that man that you're supposed to be. She sees you as something great, something holy, something worthy of praying to the deity of the power that you serve because she trusts in you. That's a loyal woman. That's the kind of woman that you never let go. A lot of women sitting back talking about, Prince, I hear what you're saying, but that ain't going to never happen. I don't trust no man. Putting out your trust, your faith in a man. Come on now.
Yeah.
When the Most High performed miracles for us as a people, Did he use a man to get those miracles done? Name one time when the Most High didn't use a man to bring forth great miracles in the earth for his people. Every single time. The Most High says he doesn't change. So what's the difference between now and then? See, these are the types of ancient principles that's going to be hard for people to grasp conception. They're going to make fun of me. They're going to talk about what I'm talking about. They're going to ridicule it. They're going to say, well, things like, I already know I'm great. And I don't need somebody to tell me that I know I'm great. It don't matter what people think about me. I know what my job is in this earth. I know what I have to do. And I'm pretty sure how I got to achieve it.
Right.
But first I got to start with me. So what I'm saying to you is, a lot of people are going to hear this and pass this along and say all types of funny and nasty things about me. Because I'm teaching you these principles that has been lost throughout our people since the last, I would say about 1,000 years almost. We have lost these principles. We have. Just to prove my point, the Catholics have held on to some of those customs. And that's why when you want to go talk to the Creator in Catholicism, you go talk to the Catholic preacher, the priest. Yeah, you do. And even the priest got somebody he got to answer to. And it goes all the way up to who? The Pope.
Right.
That's right. See, they held on to a lot of our customs, our traditions, our customs, our ways, and our truths. And look at them, they're strong. And look at us, we weak. We let all these things go out the door. Ain't no man gonna pray to the Creator for me. Ain't no man gonna pray on my behalf to the Creator.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, wait a minute. That's not what our forefathers did. Our forefathers didn't have it set up that way. You know, in ancient Babylon, I believe it's Daniel's, the 4th chapter, I think it is. Nebuchadnezzar had a dream. Nebuchadnezzar was a king of Babylon. He could not interpret the dream. Nebuchadnezzar had enough sense to go seek out someone who could give him, give him not just the interpretation of the dream, but in order to interpret it, he had to actually give him the word of the Creator.
Right.
You understand? He had to actually trust in this man enough to say, you know what? Now I'm the king, but I got to come to you to get word from what the Creator is saying to me. You understand? What has changed in that today? What has changed? What has changed is that we have lost our way. That virus that has been uploaded in our brain, and this is just one thing, but that virus that has been uploaded in our brain has taken us far off the path. We have no humility in our hearts. None. Samson was a man of the Creator. Samuel, Prophet Samuel. In the 8th chapter, 1 Samuel, I believe it is. The people rejected Samuel. They didn't want Samuel to lead over them anymore. So Samuel goes to the Creator, and Samuel says, Creator, they reject me from leading over them. You know what the Creator said? The Creator says, Samuel, they don't reject you. And I say the same thing today. They don't reject you, Samuel. They reject me. Because Samuel was teaching the Most High's truth. They didn't want to accept it. People didn't want to hear that.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, the people say, teach us smooth things. Talk to us about things that we're ready to hear. Things that we can easily digest. Things that will make us smile and make us feel good. Don't tell me I got to go to another man to pray to the Almighty. You sound like a Christian. No, my brother. No, my sister. This is not Christianity. This is the teachings of our forefathers, how we did things. How we did things in the ancient days. Truthfully. You know, a lot of our people are priests walking around right in the midst of us. I don't proclaim to be a priest. I'm from the lineage of Yahudah. Period. Now, in the end days, Yahudah and Levi might be tied together in a real special way, which means that in the end days, the one who is king will hold 2 offices, like David. David was the only king of Israel who wore ephod. The ephod was a priestly hat, but David wore ephod. He held 2 positions in so many ways. This is why he was able to speak to the Most High directly, and the Most High responded right back to him. You understand?
Mhm.
This is why his son was able to speak to the Most High, and the Most High respond back to him in 1 Kings, the 8th chapter. You understand? So a lot of things going on here that we, with our corrupted minds, don't understand. Because that knowledge is being removed from us because we're going by what the word, what that letter say. That letter says this and that letter says that. And this man taught me this, that man taught me that. And we're not allowing the Most High to speak to our inward parts. Like you said earlier, you feel it on your insides. That feeling sometimes is distorted. But most of the times that's the Creator trying to get through to you. To give you an inclination about something, a direction, a way to move. But you are so stuck on the ways of man, the traditions of man, what man has taught you, that you remove yourself from hearing the words of the Creator.
Yeah, I totally that because like you said earlier, it's like I feel like when we go to Shabbat and everything and everybody be praising, I feel that when they praise Yah and I pray at night, I feel that like this is what I feel like I'm doing right. This is what I'm supposed to be doing when I say praises to Yah, and that feels good. It feels right in myself. So I know what I'm doing. If it wasn't right, it wouldn't feel that way. You know what I mean? I know it's not just me feeling. I can feel, you know how you can feel when Yah's pulling you. Like he, you know, I'm trying to, but he's like, no, come this way. And you know what I mean? And I feel that pull is just coming. And that's why I like going to Shabbat. And like even with the day when we were just talking, stuff you were saying just hitting the nail so hard. You know what I mean? Like, because what you're saying is true. Like I know that what whoever made this JC up, he's a mastermind. You know what I mean? Because he really, like, you know, and I understand that. And another thing that's making me really, because I can't find anywhere in the Old Testament they was talking about JC.
And you ain't going to find nowhere because they wasn't talking about him.
You know, and that's what's making me like, I know the Torah is
I'm sorry. There was a place in the Old Testament where they was talking about JC. How did I miss this one? I believe it's Isaiah. Friends, think. Oh, where is it in Isaiah? I want to say the 14th chapter of Isaiah. Let me see if I'm right. I believe it's the 14th chapter of
Because
Isaiah.
I just know, like, all the prophets and everything always was saying, Yah. Yah. They didn't say nothing else but Yah throughout the Old Testament.
Yeah, the 14th chapter of Isaiah, they were speaking about JC. It says, for thou have said, it says, 14 and 12 is where it starts. It says, but how hast thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thy mind, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Elohim. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I know better than that. Like, that's not, that doesn't know, because I already know. Yah says,
Sounds familiar?
Yes, it does.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They shall see thee, narrowly look upon thee, and console thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble? Does Christianity make the earth tremble?
Yeah.
That did shake the kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that openeth not the houses of his prisoners? All the kingdoms of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But watch this. He says, thou art cast out of the grave like an abominable branch. Didn't JC say he went down to hell?
Yes, he did.
Didn't he say he came back out of hell?
Yes, he did.
He was cast out of the ground like an abominable branch.
Yes, he did say that.
And as the remnant of those that are slain, now watch this, thrust through with the sword and go down to the stones of the pit. Was he thrust through with a
Yes,
sword?
he was.
Did he die?
Yes,
Did that hit him on the head?
Yes, it did.
Man, I ain't got to say nothing else. Yeah, he is in the book. That's where he at right there. Isaiah the 14th chapter, verse 12. Hey, there he is. There he is. That's it.
That's why I said I can't. No, I
Oh
just
man,
can't
come on,
without
man.
that.
Don't get too much harder than that.
You're right.
It's simple.
You're
I
right.
didn't have to add or take away from
No.
that. It's right there.
It's right there.
And you all you gotta do is read it for yourself.
Right.
JC in the book of Revelations, the 22nd chapter, verse 16 says, I am the bright and morning star.
And I
The
know
bright
that's-
and morning star
that's Lucifer.
transfers Lucifer.
I know that's Lucifer.
There
I
you
know
go.
that is. I know that's Lucifer. That's Lucifer.
Man, and these people, man, yes.
And that's Lucifer.
If
And
you let your mind sleep, you will be sleep.
yeah, because another when they say Jesus, the King of Kings and all that, only king I know that Yah said that he was going to set upon his people was Dawid. That's it.
And
That's the only thing that I read that he and I didn't all that King of Kings stuff. I don't know about all that.
the wonderful thing with Dawid is the Most High says he should be prince to the people. There isn't but one king, and that's the Creator.
Right. That's what I said. I don't get that king. I don't because he didn't. I heard him say Dawid. That was it. I didn't hear him say nobody else. I heard him say Dawid, and he's supposed to be in the wilderness with us. I know that much.
He in the wilderness.
Yeah, that's what I
You
know.
think the king here now? And I say that with a big smile on my face.
That's what I say. No, it's too much. That's say it's crazy. No.
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do, man. I say this all the time. We got a lot of work to do.
I know I got a lot of work to do, but I'm gonna do it because I'm coming out of this stuff. This is don't make no sense.
But to get our minds back where they need to be, as I say all the time, when the Most High reveals His truth in this earth, a lot of the things that we believe to be true and to be right, we're gonna realize that they ain't true at all.
Right.
And we're gonna have to abandon a lot of this false teachings and false doctrines that we share. We're gonna have to abandon a lot of this stuff. So go ahead, what's your next question?
Oh, I was going to throw it on. Oh, and this is another. This is more of a. It's not a question, but why about this rapture stuff? That don't. I heard that we're going to be gathered. I don't know about no rapture stuff. That Christianity is talking about.
Now,
I don't.
I hear you speaking carefully now, and you don't have to speak carefully with me. Be yourself, man.
Okay.
No, seriously, just let it flow the way that you believe it, the way you understand it, or any question that you got to have. I'm not here to attack you.
Okay. Well,
That's
I
not my
know.
purpose. I won't be effective if I lose your trust and your interest. So the things that I have to do is I have to share with you and exchange information, but you have to speak in truth.
Okay.
If you don't speak in truth, it's not going to be good for you or me, you know.
Right.
So, you know, if that's where you at, that's where you at.
No,
I don't have a problem with it.
No, I don't believe in the rapture, but it's just so much of it. I wanted.
Shaquette,
I know they. I know we, as far as my understanding, we're supposed to be gathered. As far as me being into coming into the truth now, from what I understand, that we're supposed to be gathered. We're supposed to go back to the wilderness. I don't know. I mean, I've been taught about this rapture stuff, but I don't believe it. Like, because that doesn't say that in the book. I can't find it. You know what I mean? Where it say, I'm trying to remember the doctrine of. I know it's so far that we're supposed to be raptured up, and then 7 years, and then because they saying God, well, they saying Yah's coming back all these times, and I don't see it. Like I haven't read that in the book where they say, because they say, as far as I know, Yah is coming back, and he's not coming back 2 and 3 times.
well, let me ask you this. When did the Creator leave?
That's even better.
When did he leave? I mean, for him to return means that he's left.
Right.
And that means that his presence is no longer with us.
No.
So when did he leave? I know that he said he will remove us from his sight, but when did he leave?
Yeah, I feel his presence, so he didn't leave. I can't deny that his presence is here. It's never left. But
So that would dispel that rumor right there.
and yes, it would. And I just know about, because I don't see, as far as the rapture goes, like I said, I'm under understanding that we're supposed to get gathered. You know, he's coming back and he's gathering his elect. That's what I'm understanding.
He is gathering his elect.
That's what
And
I'm
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
understanding.
coming back
Yeah.
You know, the closest thing I see to that is in the book of Malachi, the 3rd chapter, I believe it is, where it says that the angel or the servant of the Most High will turn the hearts of the children back into the fathers,
Okay.
and the fathers back into the children.
Okay.
That's about the closest I see about anything as far as the Creator returning.
Okay.
I can't see anything past that. Here's a good chapter. Ezekiel the 18th chapter. It says, "The word of the Creator came unto me again, saying, What meaneth ye that ye use this proverb concerning the land of Israel, saying, The fathers have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on the edge." You understand what that means?
They're eating sour grapes. They're eating. They went away from the laws and statutes and commandments. That's what I'm thinking. That they're eating sour fruit, bad fruit.
So what happened?
So their teeth got rotten, or they got cursed, spoiled.
What it means is that if you learn false doctrines and you teach it to your children, they're going to teach false doctrines.
Right. And that makes sense because our ancestors, the slaves, gave that Christianity and they taught it to us, and we taught it to, and it went on down
That's right.
to now.
Just like in Christianity. And this is why we're having this conversation today. Because our fathers, now your mother, my mother, my grandmother, only few of us have escaped this for generations. But if we go back multiple generations, none of us have escaped it.
Right.
We have bitten the fruit of Christianity or Islam, our fathers. And it's caused our thieves, our understanding, our minds to be set on edge away from the Creator.
Because that's what we was taught for days.
And now, when you receive simple instructions like what I shared with the family today, it's hard for us to grasp it. That concept of praying to the Creator by asking the people of Him to pray for you. The people that you feel in your mind, your understanding, who represent the Creator on earth, because that's how the Creator should be represented.
That's just like when you the lesson that you spoke on at the last Shabbat we went to, when you were saying that the lady had her son had died, and she was an old lady,
Right.
and she was and it looked the Yah had blessed her with the child, but when the child was dying, she was, why would Yah bless me with this child? I'm feeling all this happiness and joy, and the child dies. So she went to one of the Levites to, see what's going on.
Excuse me, brother. Hold that for a second, please.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, I'm sorry, Doc. What was you saying about the woman?
And she went and she told me like that you have to talk to God about the situation I went through with my son, and I remember he was saying, well, he'd do it when he get back or whatever. She said, no, I'm going with you, and I'm gonna make sure that you do. After you do, then I'm bringing you to do what I asked you to do about my boy. And that's what you. And I remember you were saying that, and she went to the man of the Most High to get answers, to get things figured out about her son.
That's right. And that's what she had to do. There's another chapter that I'm looking for. I believe it's in the book of Micah. I think it's Micah the 8th chapter. I believe it is. Micah doesn't go up to 8, it goes up to 7. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to. Well, in the book of, I believe it's the book of Micah. I'll try Hosea, but I believe it's Micah, where he speaks about speaks about the nations, people of the nations coming to you, grabbing you by the hem of your garment. Zephaniah.
I think I heard that saying that when they grabbed him in your garment saying, we're going with you because we know God is in you.
They're going to say, lead us to your God, to your Maker. And that's right. And see, this is a form of what I'm trying to explain today about our service to the world. They're going to have to come to us as the people. That's why the Most High says in Exodus, the 6th chapter, 19th verse, I believe it is, that you are a priest, a nation of priests, because the world are to come to you. The priest's role was to make intercession between man and the Creator. Little boy, that's what the priest's role was. Now, you being a nation of priests, that's going to be your job. If I have to say anything to you one more time, I'm going to put you up in the corner. Your job and your responsibility is to go unto the Most High on the behalf of the people. It's also to educate the people and teach the people how to worship, serve, honor, and pray to the Most High so that they can go to the Most High themselves, if that's the procedure in which the Most High will have for it to be. To release the prisoners out of the prison houses, which means take a man who's a crackhead on the streets, an alcoholic, a woman abuser, a rapist, the worst, the slums of the earth, and raise up their mentality so that they can become honorable men in the earth again. You see, that's what it means by bring them out of the prison houses. Because a man with those type of behaviors is a man that's plagued with demons, plagued with evil spirits, forces that he know not about. It's all a part of that virus that's been uploaded into our consciousness. Teach a woman how to not sell her body. Bring her out of that condition. Bring her out off those streets. Teach a woman how to be a woman in reference to how to maintain her household. How to keep her household, first of all, because a lot of women don't know how to keep a household. They can't even keep a man. You understand? Seriously. These issues that we have are deep. We have fallen so far, man. It's just horrific when you really think about the damage that's been done to our people. Most black women, I don't say all, most black women don't know how to treat a good man. But yet, that's all they say they want.
True.
Well, you got to be a good woman to be able to receive a good man. If not, you're going to take advantage of him. You're going to call him weak because he ain't fighting with you. You're going to call him weak because he gives you things to make you smile, because he loves you and he wants you the best for you. You're going to call him not a man because he don't argue with you, because he don't feel the need to have to defend himself when you get out of line, out of character, because he's not that kind of dude. You know, righteous men of the Most High ain't going to waste our breath on foolishness. Either you on my team or you ain't. And if you're not on my team, you got to be moved aside, and somebody better than you, and I said better than you, has to take your place. And women, you need to understand that same thing, because that same rule and principle applies. If you happen to be a woman after the Most High's heart, but you got a dude that just ain't no good, you do everything in your power. You pray to the Most High, you go to your leadership, you do everything in your power to get that man to turn. But after a while, I mean, after you done did this for years, and after you done did this, it ain't really about time. It's about the effort that you put into trying to get this man to be what he should be. First of all, you don't put yourself in that position by marrying a man that's already not serving the Creator. And then that alleviates most of the problem. Okay? But if you got a man that's worshiping the Creator and fall off, you got a better chance at reaching his mind to bring him back to truth, back to righteousness, as opposed to being a woman thinking that you could take a man off the street and convert him to the ways of the Almighty and end up finding out that it's too much of a struggle for you and you can't make it. That's a problem for a lot of men. It's a problem for a lot of women. Taking people off the streets who are not in this way of life, thinking that we can instill this sickness that they have at whatever age they are, has been with them for the majority of their lives. So you think you gonna come in a few years and override that sickness that's programmed their minds for the last 20 and 30 years?
No,
How you gonna do that?
you can't. The Most High.
It can be
is in
done.
the earth.
It can be done. I'm not saying that it cannot be done.
Mm.
I'm saying it can be done, but it takes a tremendous amount of patience,
Yeah.
a tremendous amount of prayer, a whole different lifestyle. Your mind frame has to be geared for that battle, because that's what it is. But what's most importantly is that individual has to be willing. If that individual ain't willing, then there's no need for you to even attempt it,
Right.
because you'll never be successful.
Right.
And the best thing you can do is run. It's over. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
But nothing is too hard for the Most High.
Oh, I know that. Oh, I know that.
He is in control of it all.
Oh no, you definitely cannot put no limits on the Most High.
Yeah, he's definitely the one who can do the job.
It's just
and get
it's
these
in
things
His
done.
will to do so. That's so.
Put your hand down. I said to myself I was going to remember where that verse was, because that was a verse that I was searching for a long time,
Mm.
and I failed to remember where it was, and I don't like to do that. And I think it's in the 8th chapter, but all right. But let's go. So where else? Where we at?
See, we was talking.
Go ahead. Where was we at in our conversation?
We were talking about
Let's see, I'll find it. Go ahead. I'm listening, man.
No, it's like that's what we talking about. Oh man, these what are we talking about?
So you don't have any other questions?
It was one on my head. I was just trying to think about it too. It was one on my head. I was just trying to think about.
Yeah, I'm not going to find that verse. You can't remember where it is.
Can't think about it.
So you don't have any other questions, huh? You remember everything.
Yeah, that's why I said I gotta write. I'm gonna write my questions down this week. That's what I'm gonna do because I know what happens is.
Well, next week we may go to New York.
Oh, I want to go to New York.
Yeah, next week we probably travel to New York.
I want to go to New York.
Go
That's,
sit with the family.
yeah, I love it out there, man. I love going out
We'll
there.
probably go to Shemai next week.
Okay, I love going out there.
Whenever the Creed allows. My daughter should be Nita this week.
Okay,
Meaning she'll be unclean.
okay,
But I'm gonna see if I can take her somewhere on Thursday so she don't make us unclean,
okay,
so we can go.
okay.
So, Creator willing, we'll be in New York next week. All right, what else you wanna talk about, man? We got all this time. What else you wanna talk about?
Basically